Dirt that falls through it off of our table. Once again, the cleaner the table, easier to find those nice glassy gemstones. We want enough gravel in here to cover the bottom of it. Too much gravel in there, it's heavy, it's really hard to get clean. But too little, we don't get a good organization. So I just want to make sure that I can fill up the four corners. Sapphires are denser than everything in there, so we're able to move them around and place them where we want them. So I just want to make sure there's no extra wiggle room around there.
Okay.
And that's about very good. I like to go a little bit heavier just because I really like washing gravel.
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend going as much as me at the beginning. All right. Tie the bucket around the table, no kicking the bucket. You got treasure to find.
Okay.
All right. I'm not supposed to kick the bucket? Man, we got a bunch of sapphires in here. We're not going to see them until we get that mud cleared off.
Okay.
So let's head off to the trough.
Okay.
All right. First things first is just to get it nice and clean. We're not going to find anything if it's covered in that mud. We like to get it deep in that water. Just bounce it up and down, let everything get nice and saturated.
It's almost like panning for gold.
It is very similar to panning in gold. We're working with density and moving it around. Alright, everything's getting fairly well clean. I just want to do a quick look through, make sure that there's no clay or mud balls, anything hiding our treasures. Everything looks fairly good and it's almost all the way clean. So I'm ready to start organizing it. We hold the screen in the center just with our fingertips, nice and loose, and we're going to set it on top of the water just like a tabletop. We just need enough water to help it float for a second. We toss up the screen and let it drop and quickly catch it. We're just looking to let that gravel get that moment of floating. Because when that screen stops, those dense sapphires, they keep more momentum and they slam to the bottom. The sapphires are dense, they sink. Sticks are light, they float. We can submerge our tray, get rid of all of our floaters, and now we don't have to look through all the sticks. The sapphires are narrow at the bottom. We're going to rock them into the center by pushing our palms on the sides, never gripping with the thumbs. The thumbs make your gravel move all sorts of weird ways. So, just like a teeter-totter, we're going to go up and down in quick little shakes. We got to make sure these shakes are nice and snappy. If we go slow with our rocks, we just make big waves in the pond around us, and we'll splash them, and it doesn't move our rocks. We're waiting for our large rocks to start rolling down the hill. As soon as they're down on the sides of our pile, give it some nice gentle bumps, and then it brings all the large rocks out, and the sapphires go down. And then we'll rotate and get the rest of our sapphires and big rocks in the center and out of the way. Alright, so now we got the large rocks out of the way. Our sapphires are close to the middle, but we want to tighten up that group. So we're just going to do a little shake, scooting them a little bit farther forward center, a little closer to the center, and then bouncing back to the bottom to hold their place. And we'll repeat this about a dozen or so times. Just wanting the gravel to get nice and clean, and we're waiting for all the big rocks to make it onto the outer edges of our pile. So our sapphires here come in every color of the rainbow. Most common color is a pale blue-green, kind of like an old Coke bottle or some beach glass. But we'll find pinks and purples, oranges and yellows, greens and blues, and all the hues in between. They look like little glassy beads. They start from around a pinhead to a large pea in size. So they're fairly small. Alright. So now we start seeing all of our large rocks made into outer edges. Do a couple more quick little touch-ups. We always want to end on a few extra bounces. It brings our sapphires all the way to the bottom and levels out that gravel nice and flat. So when we flip it over, everything stays exactly where we put it. And then just gently tilt it to a corner, drain out all that swamp water. We don't want to be looking through that. So we're going to be using centrifugal force to flip over our screen. We hold it in the center. That is our tilt point. Hide your thumbs because smashing them really does hurt. We want to give it a few good rocks, build up some momentum. We're going to turn it upside down and set it flat on the table. Next up. Our tubes have a little hole in the top of them. This is a safety feature so we don't dump out our treasures on accident. We'll find the sapphire, set it on top, and with a finger we push it in through there. The tweezers, if you push through, grab that rubber edge and launch your sapphire out like a little slingshot. Okay. Moment of truth. So now we look in the center. All these little glassy beads are our sapphires. Blues and greens and yellowish. All those little ones. So you want to go through the center, pick out everyone that you can see easily before disturbing our gravel. Anytime we move the gravel, those dense sapphires, they wiggle their way down, they try to hide on us.
Okay.
Once you can't see anymore, highly recommend going through your pile, just in case if you're missing any. I go to the edges, I pull them out little at a time, spread it super thin so no rock could ever hide another one. I see no sapphires, I scrape it straight to the ground.
Okay.
Less on the table in front of us, less input, easier for us to absorb everything and find our sapphires. And by doing these small groups, we train our eyes how to pick out those little glassy gems.
And these are all the ones.
Yep, all those are sapphires. We'll find quartz in here, but that's our milky white stone. Just like that one there. And then they also come in a little bit more of a clear variant where they will look like a sapphire. But if you leave them out and they dry up, they'll lose that lustrous shine. Where our sapphires have this pearlescent shine to them that never goes away, even when they dry. They're just really shiny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woohoo! Sometimes we only get a couple in a screen. Sometimes we make out like a bandit and we get a dozen like this.
Yeah.
Coolest science experiment I get to do. Take dirty rocks, shake them in the water, they organize and bring me shiny.
Cool.
Awesome.
All right.
One more tip before I leave you out to it. If I'm not holding on my tube, I take a few of my large rocks, use them as bookends, and that keeps your tube from getting blown off the table.
Cool.
The wind comes very sporadically and loves throwing them on the ground.
Okay.
Keep an eye on your treasures. They're trying to escape.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Happy diggings.
Okay.
Holler if you need any help.
Will do.
Never, okay. Yeah, are you getting that washing done?
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, no, not really, but I figure if I keep the load small enough, I can sort through and find everything.
That makes sense. Yeah, as long as you're being thorough with it, getting all the mud off of there, you should be finding
Yeah.
everything for sure.
That's a rock.
Are you thinking about doing evaluations after this?
Valuation?
Yeah, so they do have free bag and weighs. They'll just weigh out your sapphires for you, bag them, and then they have $5 evaluations. They'll look at your sapphires under a little magnifying glass, and they'll check them for gem quality. If they are gem quality, they'll put them through a little classifier. The ones that fall through can't be cut. The ones that don't fall through, they will be able to get cut because they are big enough. And then they'll give you the option to get them sent out, cut, heat treated, put into jewelry, stuff like that.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
For sure, yeah, it's only $5. I think
Yeah.
they take away the $5 charge if you actually get one sent out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I will take. Yes, definitely. I don't think I'm going to get any that are big enough, but hey.
You know, that green one that you just pulled was probably like 1.5 carats, 2 carats.
Really?
And the one that's like the minimum for it being cut is 1 carat. So anything above 1 carat could be cut. Pretty
Nice.
much, if it's gem quality.
If it's gem quality,
Yeah.
there's the key word right there.
Right. Yeah. Every 5 buckets, I'd say I usually get like probably 7 or 8 cuttables, something like
Yeah.
that. For sure. All right. Yeah. Well, just holler if you do have any questions. I'll leave you to it. It looks like you got it done for the most part.
Ooh, that one's a nice one.
Cleaned up. We're good.
1,000, 2,000. I'm counting.
Oh, how
As long as it's not one lightning or I don't get to one in lightning and thunder, we're fine.
Yeah, we were getting hail the size of that rock
I-
right there the other day.
I know,
Yeah.
I was driving and some of it has freaked me out.
Yeah.
I'm not used to hail like that. I just got a pretty blue one. Are we good? Yeah. How?
Going over here. Nice, good pink one right there. Orange on it. Awesome color.
Should I probably pause and go get my raincoat? Or should I move under cover?
Your call?